Hey guys, and welcome to episode 69 nice of the Pixel Street podcast. I am your host for the week, John Hansen. Connor was a little busy working because he likes his job better than you, and Joel died.
Rest in peace.
Crap, I didn't think of how he... Every time he's not here, I think of a new way to have him die, so I did not think about this beforehand.
He was hit into a volcano by a massive airplane.
Oh, yeah, that is the worst. That's why you always get volcano insurance.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as I mentioned, this is episode 69. This week we will be discussing Overwatch's newest hero, Nintendo's Joy-Con lawsuit, and some old Star Wars games making a comeback. I am your host for the week, John Hansen, joined by Twinfinite's own Omar. I don't know your last name. I never... Banat. All right, sorry. Omar Banat. What's up, Omar?
No, I'm doing well. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Been anything cool been happening over on the Twinfinite side of things?
Man, everything cool is happening on Twinfinite. Today we actually just had the Fire Emblem Three Houses review go up, and there's a bunch of guides also on Madden 20 going up. Lots of good stuff happening.
All right, awesome. I also did see that you shared a quiz. I think
Yes.
It was release dates. I tried it, and I did pretty good at the start, and then I started missing some.
Yeah, I tried to include as many ones that are really well known, like Sonic Adventure, and some more recent stuff like God of War and Zelda and Mario. So it wouldn't be too difficult, but had to throw in some stuff like Tetris just to throw people off.
That one definitely threw me off. I was like, okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, Breath of the Wild, I remember that. That's easy. March 3rd.
Yeah, but the
God of
thing
War.
is,
yeah,
too,
that was 420.
right alongside Labo. Perfect combination. Yeah. But yeah, the thing with the Game Boy, with the Tetris is that it was a release title for the Game Boy, so if you knew that, then you could kind of figure it out, but if not so much then.
yeah. It also all that released before I was born, so a little off for me.
Yeah,
but
just
regardless, getting back to the podcast here, you can find the Pixel Street podcast on most podcast platforms on Fridays, as well as on YouTube. You can also watch the show directly on our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod, where we are going to run a giveaway once we reach 100 followers on there. Right now we're about halfway there, so we haven't decided what game we're giving away yet, but be sure to give us a follow, maybe throw out some suggestions on what you want. We'll discuss. We did a giveaway for Cuphead when that first came out for the Switch.
Nice.
That was really popular, and we got a bunch of followers during that. So we enjoyed having people start listening to us, and we want to keep you around. Definitely let us know what you want to see. Omar, let's get on to the games that are coming out in the next week here. Is there anything really on your mind that you want to play coming out soon?
There's not really anything. Definitely not coming out tomorrow. Well, I should say on Friday, whenever this is going up, but Fire Emblem's coming out. It's okay. I'm kind of looking forward to it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I am absolutely excited for that game. It's going to be so much fun, and I don't have anything else to play for the next month after that, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get the full 240 hours out of it. We'll see.
Is that what they're saying? It would be the 100% it or something?
Right. They said that for the 3 different house options that you have, each one is about 80 hours. It's maybe a little bit of an overestimation, but I'd have to imagine it's pretty close. I heard from some reviewers that it was 60, closer to that for each, but either way, that's still a ton of gameplay.
So, are there 3 different campaigns to this then?
That's what I've heard. I don't know if there's something that's been kind of left in secret, that there maybe is a 4th one. I saw some rumors that maybe DLC in the future or something, but everything I've heard, it was just the 3 different options of the black eagles, the what was it, the golden deer, and the blue lions. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that's cool. I've personally never played a Fire Emblem game. The only way I know any of the Fire Emblem guys is Super Smash Brothers.
That's how it all starts.
Yeah, Melee was where it was introduced to me, and then that's really all I've ever seen them before. So I've never gotten into it. I'm also not much of a tactical RPG guy, I guess is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't say I've ever gotten into it, but I just want to play everything on the Switch. So at some point, I do plan on grabbing this and giving it a try.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely worth it. It's kind of the same situation with you, where I wasn't really into Fire Emblem until I saw it in Smash, and then that kind of interested me, and one of my friends let me borrow his Awakening cartridge, and that's what the game that really got me into it.
All right, no, that is awesome. Other releases coming up this next week. If you like to collect amiibos, the Isabelle, Pichu, and Pokemon Trainer amiibos are coming out. Doesn't look like the Squirtle or the Ivysaur is yet, which is a bit odd. But
yeah, I don't know what that's
regardless.
all about.
Yeah, those three are coming out, so be sure to go out and pre-order them now, because just telling you, working at a GameStop, those things go pretty fast, especially the Smash ones.
Oh, yeah.
Also releasing this week is Wolfenstein, Youngblood, and Cyberpilot. Not really looking forward to this too much myself, but I figure it's a big enough game that we should definitely talk about it. Do you have any interest in playing either game?
Not too familiar with either one, to be honest.
All right, so Cyberpilot is the VR Wolfenstein game.
Okay.
I believe it's on PSVR and just PC. Youngblood is the cooperative Wolfenstein game where you play as BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters. That one, if I do end up playing either of them, it's going to be that one, because I just love cooperative games and I love shooting games. Just Wolfenstein, for whatever reason, just has never really grabbed me like Doom has, for whatever reason.
Yeah, it could be the kind of like just the supernatural setting and themes of Doom versus just, I guess, there's sort of some more futuristic stuff in what's it, Wolfenstein, but it's just kind of an overall different type of game, even though gameplay is still fairly similar.
Oh yeah, for sure. Last game we should throw out there, I don't know if you're a football fan at all, but Madden NFL 20 Superstar Edition is available. If you're excited for that, awesome. I usually go about 5 years in between grabbing sports games because I like football, but I don't love it that much that I need to pay $60 every year to have a roster update.
Right. There are a few other things that they change besides just the rosters, but not too much.
It's nothing that ever makes me go, oh, I have to have this year's Madden.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on to our free games of the month. On Xbox, we have Inside until July 31st, and Big Crown Showdown until August 15th.
Yeah, more games need to have rhyming titles.
Yeah, right? I love Inside. Have you ever played it?
No, I have not.
Do you have an Xbox?
I don't have an Xbox, but there was the one I've played before that's like the kind of like this, that Inside is the spiritual successor to or something. Limbo, yeah. There we go. Yeah, played that one. Really enjoyed it. I want to eventually play Inside, but just haven't gotten around to it.
Gotcha. They do have it available in a double pack with Limbo on the Switch. If you get the chance, I definitely recommend it. One, just so you can play through Limbo again, because that is also a very good game. But Inside is just such a brilliantly put together game. The puzzles are great. The WTF moments at the end are like just out there, and they're amazing. I definitely recommend it. Do you like puzzle games at all or anything?
Oh yeah, puzzle games.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favorite genres.
Yeah, definitely give it a try, and it also just does a great job, like Limbo does, of telling a story without actually telling you anything. You know what I mean? From like kind of just the background and everything, you kind of get what's going on in the world.
Oh yeah,
I think it's just one of those few unique games in
just
that way.
Just like Super Metroid,
awesome.
Best game of all time.
Can't say I've played it, but I always hear how amazing it is. But awesome. Moving on to new Game Pass games. This week we got Resident Evil 4, as well as Worms WMD that just hit on there. So if you have Game Pass, definitely take advantage of those. Those are on console only, by the way, not the PC version. Coming up in the month, though, we also... those are games leaving. You know what? Okay, no more new games are coming to it, but leaving on July 31st is Dandara, Dead Rising 2, Hitman Season 1, Metal Slug XX, Defense Grid The Awakening, Hexic 2, and Iron Brigade. So if you've been putting off playing those games on Game Pass, get them in now. On PlayStation Plus, right now you can get the Detroit Deluxe, which comes with Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain, as well as Horizon Chase Turbo. I downloaded both of these, and I'm definitely excited to play Detroit Become Human. Have you played it at all?
I haven't yet. I've wanted to try it out because I'm pretty sure I downloaded it right when they hit the PlayStation Plus free games this month, but I just can't remember. But I'm sure I'll download it at some point and play it, because it's one of those games that you get for free that is actually kind of not too daunting, because it's not like this massive open world that you need to spend hundreds of hours in to do everything. You can play Detroit, finish it up. You don't even need to 100% it, get through the story quickly and be fine. Horizon Chase Turbo, it's a decent racing game. That's about it.
I can't say I've heard anything on it myself.
Still excited to try it out though, just because it's free and it looks like a decent racing game.
Detroit Become Human I've really been looking forward to. It when it first came out last year, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money on a story game. But hey, getting it free now, as well as Heavy Rain, which I've never played as well, so I can press X to Jason. So yeah, no, it's just I love the branching timeline, or not timelines, but branching paths of the story and everything. And if you want to go back and see all the different endings, you can. Alright, on Twitch Prime for July, you can get Aegis Defenders, Stickbolt, 10-Second Ninja X, Metronomicon, and we will continue to just shove this news down your throat until September 24th. If you have a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime membership, you can get free 12 months of Nintendo Online. So definitely take advantage of that. Alright, Omar, what have you been playing in the last week?
Yeah, I've just been playing some Uno, some War. No. Been playing mostly Pokemon Go, because I play that pretty much every day at this point.
Have you tried out the new Team Rocket stuff that just came out?
Yes, I've caught 3 Shadow Pokemon so far today. And I'm about halfway through the new quest line with that, so... getting some good experience. Finally leveled up to 36. It's going to be still a long time until I get to level 40, I'm sure, because it's just like millions of experience that you need to get.
Oh, yeah. I just hit 30 about a month ago, and it just takes forever.
Oh, yeah. Besides that, I've also been playing Rocket League again. Not sure why that started happening, but... That'll happen every once in a while. I'll just decide, I'm going to play Rocket League again, and then that'll happen for like a month, and then I'll just move on to something else.
What are you playing it on?
PC. I have it on PS4 as well, but I really prefer playing it on PC.
Gotcha.
Just because when I'm at my desk playing on my PC, it's a much smaller screen, a lot easier to actually see everything versus sitting kind of further away on a couch.
Yeah, I gotcha. I love Rocket League. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I will go a long time without playing it, but once I do start playing it again, I just go on a string of playing it for like weeks. It's so addicting to me. I have it on my Xbox and my Switch, and there's definitely a downgrade when you play it on the Switch visually, but man, that plays so well on there, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. I've also been playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because I've never stopped.
Yeah.
Pretty much just doing 1v1s online, and then I get annoyed when people don't have the correct rule sets. And I've given up on Nintendo fixing the way their online works. So.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a bit, but I keep going through the quick play option, and I just see like what random rules it throws me in. Like one moment everyone has one stock, and then the next moment it's like a 3-minute battle, and I'm like, and I never really pay attention to what's happening until the match is already over. I'm like, oh, hey, but regardless, I get to play more Link, so I'm down for that.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, Fire Emblem. I'm going to be staying up until like 9 p.m. It's so late.
Oh, look at this party boy. Staying up real late on the weekend.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. So for me, I've been playing some Overwatch in the last week.
Nice.
I did take a bit of a break from it for a while there. Just the whole...
You have to.
The community around it is just awful. The competitive scene just really has taken a hit in the last year plus, and I was kind of angry at the game for a while, but here in the last couple weeks they've announced Roll Q coming. I'm very excited for that, and also Sigma, which we will talk about later on. I think once Roll Q comes out, I'm going to start hitting it really hard at the beginning, because the group of friends that I play with, they seem to be interested in Overwatch again because of the Roll Q announcement. Good. So that might be something that really pushes me to play that again. I've also been playing a bunch of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch.
Nice.
I am reviewing it for a website, and I really like it. Did you ever play the original Ultimate Alliance games?
I did not, but I played the X-Men Legends games, which I hear are somewhat similar. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you because I never played it.
Okay.
But Ultimate Alliance, this game, it doesn't really do much different than the original games did. It's still, you pick 4 Marvel heroes, and you're just kind of in a beat 'em up game that you're just constantly beating up people. Like that's all it is. Like you just choose who you want, you see their powers, and you're just going to town on people. It doesn't do anything amazing. There's no open world thing to it. It's literally just, hey, we have all these Marvel characters, play them, see who you like, make your team. And I'm completely fine with that. Like I'm so into the MCU right now that I just see all these Marvel characters and I'm like, oh yeah, I am down, let's play some. Definitely excited to continue playing that. Be sure to watch out for my Twitter at Revik Shadows when I post that review. And lastly, I've been playing some Black Ops 4 lately, mainly, well, actually only the zombies mode, because I just love Treyarch zombies, and they recently had their newest map come out, which is called Alpha Omega. So in Black Ops 2, they made a Nuketown Zombies map, and that's kind of been remade in this map, and it's bigger. You can actually explore like the entire Nuketown, not just like the section where it was normally just the multiplayer version, you know?
Nice.
You actually can check down the street and everything, and you can even go into the bunker that's underneath the city or the town, and you can just fight zombies throughout there. A lot of fun. Like I said, I love Treyarch zombies, so I'm always down for that. I don't see myself ever getting back into the multiplayer or the blackout, but hey, zombies is just completely fine with me.
Yeah, my only real experience with the more recent Call of Duty games would be the zombies mode. I don't even own any of those games, but whenever I would play with friends, they would be like, let's play zombies, and it's like, all right. That's fun.
I'm just a fool for any zombie game, really. Dead Rising, Left 4 Dead, whatever it is, give it to me and I will play a ton of it. I guess I'm just a basic gamer in that way. Alright, so I posted this in the topic of the show, but this is actually our news of the week. So, news! Starting out, our first news story of this week is Overwatch's newest hero, Sigma. He's been announced, and he hit PTR. You kind of just started getting a look at him before we started recording, so I wouldn't imagine you know much about his reveal or anything.
He looks fun. Yeah, I didn't watch his reveal trailer, if that's a thing, but I just watched some little like gameplay breakdowns of what all his moves do and how you can use them differently. For like with his shield, they were showing like how you can charge forwards and release the shield and then pull it back and then shoot it out again. And
yeah,
pretty neat.
He definitely has a lot of interesting moves. His main fire bounces off walls and explodes. I love his ult where you literally pick up anyone in the circle area and slam them back down. He's a lot of fun to play. I played him for a couple hours yesterday on the PTR. His story is also pretty interesting. So he is a Dutch scientist who is like obsessed with harnessing the power of a black hole. So he figures out how to do that, and of course something goes wrong, which gives him all these floating abilities. He can control gravity now.
Sure, why not?
But it seems like in the accident, like he now has like split personalities. So he's like, one moment he's just your normal scientist, he wants to do good for the world, and then the next moment Talon is taking advantage of him and he's doing stuff for them. And Talon, of course, is the terrorist group in Overwatch.
Well, better than the cliche turning into a werewolf, but not off by too much.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. He just doesn't get anywhere. So I think they haven't confirmed this or anything, but I think there's like some play of brainwashing going into him, like with Widowmaker. So like while you're playing as him, when you select him, you randomly hear these piano notes, and he like just starts screaming, "What's that melody?" And it's like driving him insane. So he's a very interesting character, and I'm excited to play him some more. Definitely better than what Baptiste was. Baptiste was just a boring inclusion into the game. He's like, okay, I used to be bad, but now I'm good. I'm a healer. I'm like, oh, yeah, wow, how boring.
I remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, jumping back into Overwatch randomly and seeing him and being like, oh, I've never heard anything about him. What is this?
Yeah, he's just a boring character.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. Nintendo is adjusting their Joy-Con repair policy to accept all repairs for free. This is from Imran Khan of Game Informer. Last week, a lawsuit was filed alleging that Nintendo's problem with drifting Joy-Cons was becoming a little too big to ignore. While Nintendo didn't comment, and their only public statement on the subject seemed to dismiss any acknowledgement, it appears that might have changed internally. An alleged memo from Nintendo of America suggests that the company is going to pursue a policy of free repairs for the drifting issue and refunds for anyone who paid for a Joy-Con fix. According to a memo obtained by Waypoint, Vice's games outlet, Nintendo has started telling their customers service representatives that they will no longer be charging for Joy-Con repairs for this issue. Previously, Nintendo's stance was that they would repair Joy-Cons within the first year if they had a drifting problem, but the fix would not always be permanent, or even particularly long-lasting. The filed lawsuit in Seattle claims that the plaintiff's Joy-Cons stopped working a few days after Nintendo supposedly fixed it. When the plaintiff asked Nintendo to repair it, they demanded payment for a second repair. The memo, if accurate, suggests that the company recognizes this is a recurring problem. That isn't likely to just go away. The new policy is similar to Microsoft's infamous Red Ring Return initiative, which took virtually limitless repairs for the Xbox 360 due to design flaw. Though, obviously, on a smaller scale here, much like that case, though, it might mean that Nintendo is going to be forced to redesign the internals of the controller to cut off the repair problem at the head. No official statement has been made by Nintendo at this time. So, Omar, yes. You're a big Nintendo fan, right? You hosted the Nintendo podcast that we used to have on cultureofgaming.com.
That's correct.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
I mean, it's good that they're going to offer free repairs now for the Joy-Con, but it's odd that they're not saying anything about it, publicly, and that they're not saying anything about anything publicly when it comes to this, even that they're going to maybe look on redesigning the Joy-Con. But, I mean, I personally haven't had any issues.
Yeah, me either. I hear about a lot of people having drift issues, but it's personally, I have like 3 controllers that just never have that issue.
And apparently it's only with, well, at first I was hearing it was only with the left, but I've been hearing now that it's also been happening with some people's right Joy-Con as well.
Okay.
The only issues that I had similar to the drift, I guess, would be when I was using just the regular Joy-Con. And another issue with them is that they have terrible Bluetooth antennas in them that are just very weak and cannot go through a sheet of paper. A bit of an exaggeration, but like I would have my Switch on my desk, and if I held my controller underneath my desk directly where my Switch is, it would still lose connection through this little like sawdust table from IKEA. And I mean, it's clear besides just the drift, there are plenty of issues with the Joy-Con, but you know, if they repair them and the repairs actually work, then that's good. But then the other problem is I've been hearing people saying that they sent their Joy-Con in and, well, they get it back and a few days or weeks or months later they stop working, which I guess they would still be able to get repaired again. But at what point is it like, hey, do something about it so we don't need to send it in at all?
Yeah, I would think that they kind of do a thing like Microsoft did with the 360, where, because they're gonna now be receiving everyone's Joy-Cons,
right,
like no matter the issue. So I would figure that they just take them in and they'll send you a new one, because that's just a lot easier than
that would make more sense.
Constantly shipping them back and forth when that's something that they're probably going to be paying. It would just make more sense to me to do that. So I mostly play my Switch in handheld mode. There's a few times where I'll put it in the dock and play it, and a couple times where I've played it on the tabletop mode. But like, the only issues I've ever had with my Joy-Cons really is like if like a piece of dirt like it's in the rails of it, and like it won't recognize that my Joy-Con is connected to the Switch. So I just like have to clean it out quick.
Sure.
That's only happened like once.
So carry some canned air with you.
Yeah, that's only happened once, like the 2 years I've had it. So, like, I can't say that I've been having any issues with it. And like I said, I have like 3 sets of Joy-Cons, and I've never had any drifting issue.
We are the lucky ones.
Yeah, I guess. But no, it is good that they are finally making some moves against this. Sure. Of course, it took a class action lawsuit for them to get here. But regardless, they're at least doing something about it now. It is odd that they're not saying anything on it. You would think that they would, like, I would think that you would want to get that goodwill from people. Hey, yeah, so that our former policy on Joy-Con repairs, hey, now they're free. Like, send us your Joy-Cons if you're having issues. Like, I would think that they would want that goodwill,
right,
instead of just kind of sweeping it under the rug. It probably comes down to money there, because they're sending you something new or they're repairing it. I'm not sure, but it does seem weird. Nintendo is always a little backwards with their public stuff, I think.
Yeah, especially it seems when it comes to defects with their consoles or controllers, they're usually a little quiet from what I've noticed. But they usually seem to be fairly good at eventually making it right for people. But you'll just have to wait and see for now.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, Shadows of the Empire and the NES Empire Strikes Back will be re-released on retro platforms.
Perfect.
Alright, this is by John Ryan of IGN. 2 classic Star Wars games will be getting re-released. 1991's The Empire Strikes Back for the NES and Game Boy, and 1997's Shadows of the Empire for N64. The classic games, which come in either a classic or premium edition, are being brought back by Limited Run Games and are available for pre-orders starting on July 26th. That will be the day that this podcast actually goes out. The classic editions cost $40 to $45 in the US and come with the game cartridge for the original hardware. Sorry, no digital versions. You'll need to dust off your N64 or pick up a Retron 5 in a package based on the era the action figure for the game would have released in. The premium editions, which will retail for $85 to $90 in the US, come in a larger box and feature additional items like collector's coins, pins, posters, and art cards. Shadows of the Empire was a big deal for Star Wars fans in the 90s, said Limited Run co-founder Josh Fairhurst in a recent interview with StarWars.com. Wow, what a basic Star Wars. That's as basic as
StarWars.com.
Yeah. There was a book, a soundtrack, a comic. It was a multimedia event. It almost felt like a new movie. So it has this kind of epic scale to it that a lot of older games don't. And I think fans are going to really appreciate that, going back and rediscovering it. Fairhurst also announced that Limited Run has plans to tackle other classic Star Wars games, starting with 1995's Dark Forces. I think that Dark Forces is a pretty formulative game for a lot of Star Wars fans, and it features Kyle Katarn, who everybody loves. I love him so much, I've never heard of him. So I think there's going to be a lot of hype going into that one. So, yeah, this is definitely one of the more interesting news that I've seen come out in a while. And just so everyone understands, this is not being, like, remastered. It's not just a port or anything to new consoles. It's not coming out to new consoles at all. They are literally redistributing the NES, Game Boy, and N64 cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I'm not sure if this is how they looked in the past, but the NES, the Empire Strikes Back game is a red cartridge for both the Game Boy and the NES, and the Shadows of the Empire for the N64 is a purple cartridge. I'm not sure if they looked like that in the past. I don't think they did, so that's cool.
Yeah,
but it's just so weird. Like, are these rare games? I'm going to have to
no
look
idea.
It up. Go ahead. What do you think of this?
I was just thinking, looking at the color of the cartridges again, that the NES game almost looks like it would fit better with the colors of the Famicom than the regular NES. That red is
yeah, you are right. Yeah, it would.
almost is like the controller color.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I was just recently... looking at fixing up my old Game Boy Color because it has a speaker that's not working, and I was looking at getting a backlight mod for it, so maybe I'll look at this Game Boy game because I've never even heard of it before. It might be interesting to at least try out.
Or it might be awful.
Yeah, that's definitely
it's
possible.
It's a Game Boy game based on Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, so I just looked up both games. So Shadows of the Empire, now granted this is out of box price, is about $9.53. If you have the box, it's about $20, and if you have the box sealed, it's $100.
Are the cartridges the same color? Are they just normal
let's
gray?
see. Nope, yeah, they're gray. So they're just changing up the cartridge.
At least you can tell the difference between old and new ones then.
Yeah. So Empire Strikes Back for the NES is a little less than $20 for just the cartridge. With the box, it's $55, and with the box sealed is $185. So that one's a little more expensive, but it still doesn't look like particularly rare games. Like those $100 prices, like, yeah, NES and N64 games, brand new, never broken the seal or anything. Yeah, they are always up around that price. So I don't know. Like, I don't remember anyone asking for these.
Yeah.
Like, if they're trying to introduce them to new fans, well, first those new fans have to have those old consoles.
Right. It seems more almost like kind of a collector's thing just because of the way the packaging is, but
yeah, it does have the like old Star Wars action figure packages to it.
Those blister packs.
Yeah, which is really cool. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, like, I definitely recommend at least giving them a try. Like, at least give them a look. $40 to $45, like, for like a collectible, that's not terrible. Like, that's pretty average, I would say. So yeah, no, if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely give them a look. I won't grab them because I'm not much of a Star Wars fan. If it was pretty much any other game, I would grab the N64 one.
Okay.
Because I just love the N64, but yeah, not much of a Star Wars fan myself.
Yeah.
Are you gonna grab them?
I probably will not. If it was the Super Nintendo game Super Star Wars, I would definitely consider it, but I just don't really have any nostalgia for these like I did for that Super Nintendo game. I don't know if the NES game is going to be $40 and the Game Boy game is also going to be $40 separately. That seems like a bit much for I mean, I understand it's kind of more of a collector's thing, but that still seems odd to have the NES and Game Boy games at the same price. But if that is how it is.
Well, they said 40 to 45.
Sure.
So my guess would be 45 would be the N64 and the NES, and then the Game Boy would be 40. But still, that's too much for the Game Boy game, at least. Like, I can see the NES and the N64 game being up there, but like, I don't know.
Oh.
Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I just checked their site. It looks like they're both 40, and then the N64 game is 45.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and
really weird.
The whole bundle is $385.
Oh, that's for like the collector's editions for all three.
It looks like it comes with the premium editions for all three, and then just the standard editions for all three.
Oh, so you're actually getting
6 games,
2 copies of each. Man, you have to be like really dedicated to Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they're definitely ours.
There
very
are
dedicated
people like
Star Wars collectors out there.
Oh, I know. But I feel like this is like even more of a bigger niche because it's not only Star Wars fans, it's Star Wars gamer fans.
Oh man.
But going even beyond that, it's Star Wars gamer fans from the late 80s, mid 90s. Like, it's such a specific group of people that they're going for.
And I also see at the top of the Limited Run Games site, they have a countdown for when the Star Wars games will be available. It says 14 hours, 16 minutes, 45, 44, 43. Okay.
Oh.
So,
all
not
right.
too far away now.
Who knows? It might also be a pretty limited run of things, so they might not be selling a bunch of these. Yeah, you're right. All right, moving on to our last news piece here. If you can't tell, this has been a very slow week of news. We are in that lull between E3 and Gamescom. But Hollywood could give a fuck about casting Bautista in Gears of War movies, says actor. This is by Alicia Judge of IGN. Hollywood doesn't want Dave Bautista to play Marcus Phoenix in a Gears of War movie. According to a tweet from the wrestler turned actor, in response to a fan's plea to Hollywood to cast Bautista, the Guardians of the Galaxy actor replied, "They're listening, and they could give a fuck. But thank you for the support. Believe me when I say I've tried everything to make this happen." The idea for a Gears of War film has languished in development hell since 2007. Various writers have joined and left the project, and the production mantle passed from New Line to Universal, who confirmed development in 2016. No casting decisions have yet been announced, but Bautista has been vocal about wanting to play Phoenix, saying in an interview last year that he's been pursuing Gears of War for years now. It's not clear why casting directors are being so reticent? Wow, that's quite a word. Fans have been quick to point out Bautista's physical resemblance to Phoenix, as well as his extensive experience in high-profile movies like Blade Runner 2049 and the later Avengers films. However, movies based on video games are notoriously tricky to make, which could also be one of the reasons why it's taking so long to pen a script. The Coalition studio head Rod Ferguson recently told IGN that whatever the movie turns out to be, it won't be canon. Instead, it will sit in an alternate reality because it has to be a great movie first and a Gears movie second. This isn't the first time Bautista has voiced frustration on... Okay, who cares about it? Okay, whatever.
Bautista's great.
Yeah, Dave Bautista himself is awesome. I really like him as an actor. Do you want to see a Gears of War movie?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am at with it too. Like, I have no desire for this. Fun story. I never played the Gears of War.
Yeah, same here.
Gears of War games originally when they came out. I think it was last year I played through 1 and 2 with a friend because he like pretty much begged me to. And I was like, okay, this is okay. And I was making fun of the game. The last couple days here, though, I started playing Gears of War 3 with another friend because now I feel like I have to get through the story before I can like get to 4 and 5. And I don't see why people think this would make a good movie. Like, this would be just as bad as any other video game movie that you can think of. Like, it won't be good. It's not a good movie. They're not good cutscenes in the game itself. No. Like, it's not good voice acting. It's just like a bunch of gruff people be like, damn, shoot that guy over there. It's not interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on it.
I definitely want to give the game a try. I would just want to play it on PC because I cannot play shooters on console.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't see it ever becoming a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if the money is right and it seems like people are interested, I'm sure it'll happen because as long as they can make money doing it, it'll happen.
Yeah, you're right. But the very fact that it's been in development since 2007, they said, and they're turning down a big... Well, okay, maybe not like a huge actor, sure, but a pretty big actor in Dave Bautista.
I feel like he's big enough to be a lead in a movie like
this. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So the very fact that they're turning it down kind of tells me that, one, they either don't know what they're doing yet with the movie, or they've got it so far in the back burner that they're not even thinking of it right now. Okay. So that does it for our news of the week. We are going to go into our topic of the show. I completely forgot to post earlier that we were recording today, so I didn't really give people enough time to recommend a topic of the show. But if you ever have something you want to hear us talk about, hit us up on @PixelStreetPod. We will talk about literally anything on this section of the show.
Only
in the past,
video
we talked about... No, anything.
Uh-oh.
Send me pictures of your dog, and I will talk about that dog. We've talked about the Mr. Potato Head Burger King commercial craze in the early 2000s.
Let's talk about how I just got a Farfetch'd plushie from...
What?
Yeah, one of my friends just came back from Japan and brought us some nice Pokemon swag, and yeah, I got a Farfetch'd plushie, and there's a Pikachu hat. It's like it goes over your head. It's kind of like one of those Russian hats, except it's a Pikachu face, and he's wearing Ash's hat. It's pretty great.
All right, so all I'm thinking of is Russian Pikachu right now. Yeah. So was this from the Pokemon set?
Yeah.
I just want one of those over here.
It would be nice to have, yeah.
Like I don't want to go to Japan. Just bring it here, and I will get lost in it. I will be so amazed with it. Like, it looks so cool. I want it really bad. Man, there's just no cool stores around here. I mean, I guess I live in Iowa, so it's my own fault. But still, like, put it in Chicago. I will drive 3 hours to get there for that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, eventually there might be a Pokemon Center in the U.S., but
New York or Los Angeles.
That would make sense since they have Nintendo NYC there, but I don't know. I guess Pokemon Company's just not feeling the United States.
I just want to know why Nintendo and the Pokemon and Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, why they hate me specifically.
It's because of all that stuff you've been posting online about how Sword and Shield are going to be garbage. No.
You're right. They're the worst. I hate them. You call these brand new animations? Boo. Get out of here. All right. Well, I think that does it for episode 69 nice, of the Pixel Street Podcast. Like I said, I'm John Hansen. You can find me at Revex Shadows. Hit us up on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. Look for me on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/JohnJW92 or just search Revex Shadows. You can find me there. Like I also said, look out for my review of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that I should be posting within the next few days here. Omar, where can the people find you?
You can find me at my home address, 1234 Street Drive.
Ooh, Street Drive.
Or on Twitter at OBBANAT. I pretty much just post all the articles that I write and whatever comes to my mind. Kind of just like a stream of consciousness thing, not too much editing in there, so if you notice some typos, let me know. It'll be very helpful. And then you can also find me on Twinfinite.com, where I write news, guides, quizzes, features, everything, pretty much. It's a pretty cool website. Got some really good writers over there.
Yeah, I'm not jealous at all. All right, Omar, thank you so much for joining me. That is episode 69. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find us. Thanks so much, guys. We are out.
Bye.